There are more sophisticated ways of playing these games, but this is how my brother and I invented them in the early 1970s. We like it. We still like it. It's still fun. And it might not be fun at a club or some fancy show, but it's ours, so we don't care. There's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't make your own charts and your own ideas. Perhaps you do historical gaming. Perhaps you're in the Dark Ages. You might want to change the fantasy elements of this game, which I've only included because they were in the original game. You could change the fantasy elements to all be Dark Age encounters. You could have no encounter. I tend to have a lot of encounters because that's the game I like. But you could have, just throw a d6. If you get a 5 or 6, that's an encounter, like Rolo just coming in. That's an encounter. And 1 to 4, there's no encounter. There's nobody on the grassland. You could say, if you've been to an area like the Wizard's area, there isn't another encounter when you get there. There's just the one you left. You could make it a lot simpler. You might not want to. I like this. I like the jeopardy and the stress. I do like the stress. What's the matter with me? Oh, goodness me. I really wanted this to do better. I play similar games to this in all types of gaming. So, for example, science fiction. I have a patrol of squats that I use in all sorts of games. Stargrave, Core Space, 5 Parsecs. And they land on planets and they explore the planet grid by grid. And they encounter the types of terrain and creatures that might be on the planet. We play a desert game set in the Sudan in the 1880s, and it's 10 British soldiers, a lieutenant and a sergeant and 8 soldiers. And you go in a grid at a time in the desert, and you throw for encounters in the grid. Now, the encounters are rare, but always hostile. So if you do bump into something, it's going to be a number of Mardist attackers. And we also allow, you say, well, there's 4 Mardist attackers. They're not daft enough to just jump out and face a British patrol. But what they will do, they're going to track that patrol, and the next time there are Mardists, they're going to add themselves onto that. And at some point, they might be lucky and get to more than 10 and spring an ambush. We played a game set in Vietnam, where the first square is where the helicopter lands and drops the troops, and they have to traverse the entire board back to the helicopter to be lifted off. I mean, my table's 6 by 4, so you've got 24 squares. You could be looking at a 24-day patrol, or you could reduce it, say 6-day patrol. You go into 6 squares and come back, tell us what's in there. You could do it in World War II. You could do it anywhere. Anywhere you want to send out a patrol of some description into unknown territory and invent your own likelihoods of occurrences, which we're going to call random terrain, possibly. Not if you're using a historical map, they won't be. What we're calling non-player characters could be the French Resistance. enemies could be whoever you're fighting. So you might come across a tank, you might come across a gun position, you might come across civilians needing rescuing, and it's a historical game. And the scenario isn't now something you've got to get from a book. The scenario is just happening in front of you as you play. I've made fairly dodgy images of my current chart for this game, and I'm going to put them on YouTube. Please feel free, if you can sort of photograph them or whatever you can do, cleverer than me, do it if you want them. But my message would be, what's your game? Right, we're playing Romans and barbarians. Okay. Who are you? With the Romans, we're on patrol in Gaul. Right, okay. So how many Romans have you got on the patrol? 10, I'd say 10 if I was you. And you've got a commander, and you've got perhaps a standard bearer, and you've got 8 chaps. And each square they go into, throw a dice, it could be a d6, depends on what terrain you've got. If the whole area is a forest, you don't want to die, you don't need to dice for what sort of terrain it is. It's forest. You might need to dice for more, are there Gauls in it? And are the Gauls unpleasant? Or are they just random, innocent Gauls? And then how do you treat them? And because you're not under the time constraint that I am trying to make a video as slick and professional as this, like Cecil B. DeMille, you can have an encounter in a square and think, I don't know what to do now. Well, all right, you can go to the pub, you can nip down, have your tea, go to bed, sleep on it, keep coming back and having a look. Don't matter how long you take to resolve that situation. You might think, oh, I've done that wrong. Well, redo it. Just ignore it. It didn't happen. Do it again. You can't get this wrong. The only way you can get this wrong is by not doing it. So, if you liked it, if you fancy a go, great. If you try it at different periods, if you try a historical one, Napoleonic, if you try science fiction, if you try your own version of a fantasy, if you develop it into part of a Dungeons and Dragons preamble, tell me, comment. Let me know. Let us all know. We'd love to know. It'd be fantastic. So, there we go. That's it for me. I wish I'd lived longer, but a lot of us can say that, can't we? Ta-ra, Chuck.